When it comes to Le Mans, one company has to come to mind, and that's got to be Porsche. 19 overall wins, it leads the way. And while we tend to think about the 917s and 911s, well, the 924 also had some success. First run back in 1980, won its class in 1981, one of 107 Porsche class victories. In the American world, we always connect Corvette with Le Mans. I mean, after all, it has 8 overall victories, but there have been a few Camaros which have raced there as well. Thanks to the Ford versus Ferrari movie, everybody knows about Ford at Le Mans, but the Blue Oval didn't have much success with the Mustang. While the Datsun 240Z was first entered at Le Mans in 1972, the first Z to finish didn't happen until '75. How about something simple? The MGTC ran in the very first Le Mans that was held after World War II in 1949. We could talk Vipers, we could talk Austin Healey's, we could even talk Cadillacs. But if you want true royalty at Le Mans, it has to be the Bentley badge. These modern Bentleys have roots in a company with 6 overall wins. They had 4 straight between 1927 and 1930. Just look up the Bentley boys. They dominated.
Being surrounded by all these beautiful Porsches, especially this GT2, reminds me of a fantastic memory I have at one of the elite races in the world, the 24 Hours of Le Mans. It was truly incredible. Now, Porsche first won overall back in 1970, and to this day is the winningest car at the track. There's so much history with this race, and I was honored to ride in the parade, which has been going on for 100 years. The energy and excitement was contagious. I mean, it was unreal being part of such a historic event.
Ford went to Le Mans in the middle 1960s to prove it could build the best performance cars in the world, and despite Enzo Ferrari. Ford won the great 24-hour race 4 years in a row. In 2005, Ford came back with a tribute version of the Le Mans winner, retro-styled V8 high performance, great car, and it's sold out. In 2016, Ford was back in France. Joey Hand, Dirk Mueller, and Sebastian Bourdais won their class in the 24-hour classic, and 1,300 cars were built to celebrate that, coming off the same assembly line as the race cars. Of the special tribute paint schemes that were offered, this one is my favorite. This is a 2020 Ford GT celebrating the 1969 Le Mans win for Ford by Jackie Eakes and Jackie Oliver. The Gulf blue and orange, resplendent, unmistakable, and truly historic.
2005 Ford GT up on the block right now.
Well, this was the first return of the Ford GT. It was a retro modern car. In 2005, 2006, these were offered, and I absolutely love these. A supercharged 5.4-liter V8 behind your head making incredible noises, and a 6-speed manual transmission so you can row your own gears. These are about my favorite driving cars.
Now, a similar engine, the 5.4 4-valve 4-cam supercharged, was available in GT500 Mustang, but the big difference was only the GT got the aluminum engine block. The Mustang got an iron block, which was about 95 to 100 pounds heavier, so this block is the one you want. Unfortunately, it doesn't bolt up easily to a Mustang transmission.
Now, with the latest Ford GT, they replicated, they made the doors go up, but with this older one, they replicated, well, the classic Ford GT doors, which you really have to be careful of getting out of. I've hit my head numerous times on these.
This car is as good as they come.
And of course, the color is the same color that they raced at Le Mans and won in 1967, which was the second victory for the Ford GT40. This is the one that Dan Gurney and A.J. Foyt drove. It looked different than this because in that particular one was a little longer tail, slightly different stylized. But actually, when they went back with the John Wyer cars the next 2 years, this was the body style that they drove. And there it goes at $400,000 for a 2005 Ford GT. Congratulations to those folks up there. Great car about to roll up on the block. A 2020 Ford GT Heritage Edition.
Well, the Heritage, of course, being the Gulf Racing Ford partnership union of the 60s that resulted in so much victory, being praised right here on a street version.
3.5-liter V6 engine, coupled with
Yes, this is certainly my favorite spec of the new Ford GTs, the Gulf Heritage, but you still get 3.5-liter EcoBoost V6, 216 mile-an-hour top speed. It'd be a little scary to race one of these.
Ford history, some racing history, the Heritage version, picked as reliable carrier of the day. They could have picked any car on the sale. They chose this one, and I can see why, Mike. Let's get her sold, Joseph.
Here we go.
And of course, the Heritage colors don't come from the first 2 victories for Ford at Le Mans. It's from the last 2, ironically, when it wasn't an official Ford program, when they won in 1968 and 69. And this is done to have the look of the 1969, and we've hit $1 million currently bid for this Ford GT Heritage Edition.
You see the active aero wing that back there that deploys at different speeds, and of course with braking, and then of course the airflow going through there, through the rear fenders, but also the radiators on either side. The EcoBoost is inside there in a nice little cocoon. Just an iconic design styling, a very good retro throwback, but also looks like something from way in the future.
Tyler, about that wing, is there a master show-off switch? You can make it go up or down. How's that function? Is there a button somewhere? Or?
This is an opportunity right here.
You know, I've driven one once, but I've never played with the wing as far as that goes. A lot of them do have the show-off button. You can wave at the people behind you. I haven't seen that with this. I have seen the rear of these quite a bit because they are so fast, though.
Right here in Gulf colors.
Well, this is the #1 seller so far, currently bid at $1.25 million.
Now this one has been driven some, a little over 2,000 miles. We've seen so many where they never drive them at all. They show up with 30, 50 delivery miles. So I do like that somebody actually used this a little bit, drove it for a few years, followed what Ford wanted people to do, actually, you know, enjoy the car versus just selling them on, even though they sell for way over what they originally sold for MSRP-wise.
Well, I'll tell you what, it stalled a little bit at $1.1 million. Now it's easing its way up. We're at $1.3 million, the current bid. And there it goes, $1,325,000, the new #1 car for the day here on Super Saturday at Barrett-Jackson in Palm Beach.